Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Today as we read about Lot's plight, as we read about Lot being saved from the destruction of Sodom and how he was rescued from that situation, we can see a lot of parallels between him and Noah. As we reflect back on the story of Noah, we see that Noah was saved from a wicked generation, from a wicked world through the flood. And he was also saved from the judgment and wrath of God with the ark. And yet, after it was all said and done, after the flood waters went away, after the ark settled on Mount Ararat, Noah built a vineyard and became drunk and became naked in his tent. And that led to some disastrous results. And we see the same thing with Lot. Lot is saved from the destruction of Sodom, and God rescues him. Basically, the angel has to drag him out of the city, and yet still he is saved from the destruction. But he goes into the mountains and also becomes drunk, and in doing so, commits incest with his daughters. And again, there are some great disastrous results. The nation of Moab and Ammon are taken from his daughters, who had come to be great enemies of God's people. And so the original readers, which I believe to be the Israelites in the wilderness, as Moses would have penned the book of Genesis, should have taken this to heart, because they too were saved from the wrath of God. They too were saved from the Egyptians. They were saved from the plagues, and they were saved from even Pharaoh's army as they chased after them. And they go into the Red Sea as it is parted, and they're ultimately rescued from Pharaoh and rescued from God's wrath against the Egyptians. And they should have taken to heart these two stories to show that even though you might be rescued, even though you might be delivered, even though you might be saved, you should not let your guard down. It's not an excuse to then partake in things that would lead you into making some bad choices. And that would be the same would be true for us as well as believers. We've had a similar experience to Noah and also to Lot. We too have been saved from the wrath of God, from the judgment of God through the cross, through the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And we too have been saved from this wicked generation. We've been set apart by God to become his holy people, to become his priesthood, to become his children. And God has rescued us from this world. And that will fully be manifested when Christ comes again. But we've been saved, we've been rescued, we've been delivered. But just with Noah and just as with Lot, it doesn't mean we should let our guard down. It doesn't mean that then we can go out and live a life indulging in the flesh. But rather, we ought to remain sober and to remain circumspect as we live in this world, and to always keep ourselves protected against the evil influences that might surround us. And these two stories perhaps can help us to understand what it means to walk as God's saved people, and to again, separate ourselves from sin, to keep our guard up, to be watchful. As Peter would say, Satan lurks about like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. Just being careful and maintaining our awareness of God's presence, staying close to the Lord, staying under his, under the pinions, under his wonderful protection, and just drawing close to him. So hopefully these stories will help us to do this very thing. And maybe these are some things that we can all reflect on as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.